Disclaimer, I only have one Pokemon game of this entire collection, and because this collection is a lot bigger than my other collection videos, it'll most likely be split into two different parts. Stay tuned. Hello everyone, it is your boy, Frosty R&B, the Frostman himself, streamer, let's player, and a guy who just posts random things on YouTube. Today I want to show everybody my Nintendo 3DS collection and the history and how I feel about each and every single game I own in the collection. Now, my history with the Nintendo 3DS is with my younger sister who bought the very first game in the collection, which, by the way, is still hers. That being said, though, this is her Nintendo 3DS, and I won't go into too much detail about each and every single model. All you gotta know is the Nintendo 3DS, the older models. This is the XL. There is a OG Nintendo 3DS old model, which had like really ridged, sharp, flat sides on how you hold it. It's not that comfortable to wear and play on. And also the 2DS, which has no clamshell case, which, by the way, it looks really cool. And then you have the new 3DS and new 2DS, 3DS XL lines. With that being said, let's go ahead and what I can definitely say for recommendations. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I will be honest. I don't see the whole main reason why anyone should get the older 3DS models at all, or even the plain first gen 2DS model at all, unless it's two things: capture card for 3DS, and oh boy, you're not buying a 3DS capture card unless you're stinking rich or you could save for it. I tried. It goes way too much. And second of all, the only other reason why I could think of people buying the older models over 3DS models is the limited editions and collector's editions of the skins and whatnot. Those are the only two reasons why I would probably prefer the older models and recommendations. But other than that, though, the new 3DS XL and the new 2DS XL models excel so much more compared to the older models. And the main reason why I believe that is because you see this like little eraser knob thing? Yeah, that's what they call the new C stick. And most of my games I play on the 3DS, surprisingly, they benefit from the C stick. And I do like having faster processing power because I do play more handheld gaming than console gaming. And not only that, 3DS has been my resolution to coming back to gaming, as well as so many great phenomenal games. I'm a 90s kid, so if you're someone who wants to pick up some cheaper games, and the Nintendo Switch is too expensive, which by the way, I think the 3DS is still more accessible in my personal opinion than Switch, then the 3DS I would highly recommend it. The newer models will play everything, but the older models won't play certain games, which we'll get into that later in part 2. With that being said, let's go ahead and jump straight into games. Alrighty, let's go ahead and start the Nintendo 3DS collection part 1 with Animal Crossing New Leaf. This is actually my younger sister's game, so I haven't really played much of it. But from what I've seen so far, is that the player can actually become a mare. And this has the debut of Isabelle. You know that annoying poodle dog that has a fishing pole and ultimate? Yeah, you can blame this game for her debut. But other than that though, this game is a life simulation game. A lot of people do like this series. It has a very strong cult following. For myself, it's not really my cup of tea. But it is worth noting that this is the original vanilla release. They did re-release this game for the Nintendo Selects that has the amiibo function. But other than that though, they're essentially very much the same game. So that's my opinions on New Leaf. Next up, we have Bravely Default. I'll be honest, ladies and gentlemen, I don't care for this game at all. If anything, I don't remember jack about this game. Not to say it's a bad game, I did enjoy playing it for what it was, but the main reason why I don't remember jack about this game is due to the fact that I watched a Let's Player play this game 100% completion on YouTube, followed their guide, and that's it. But I do want to clear up some things though. A lot of people do compare this to the Final Fantasy series because it's made by Square Enix. I think this game should be treated as its own series. But other than that though, random trivia. One of the characters is voiced by Morgana's voice actress from Persona 5. I don't remember which character, but they do share the same VA. And she does amazing, great voice acting work. So Bravely Default. Take a mobile game, you make it very popular, and then you add a mini game to that popular mobile app. What do you get? You get Captain Toad, Treasure Tracker. This is a great game. Imagine the player being a mouse or mice, stuck in a maze, can't jump, but you can only move, and has a lot of puzzles. That's what this game essentially is. Debuted originally on New Super Mario 3D World. I think it's New Super Mario Bros. 3D World. I don't remember the exact title for the Wii U, but this was originally a minigame, and then they made a full-fledged game that was released on the Wii U, and then that Wii U port was eventually coming to the 3DS and Switch. Personally, I prefer the 3DS function because the controls are a lot better with the touchscreen stuff, but that's just me though. So I would highly recommend this game if you love puzzles. Ah yes, Detective Pikachu. You gotta love a Pikachu who not only sasses, also drinking coffee. At first, he may be like a smug Chad, but then once you get to really know him, it's really great. But what this game essentially is, it's just really a visual novel game, point and click, but very easy detective novel. That's really all I have to say. It's a great spin-off, and this is the only Pokemon game I actually own in the entire 3DS collection. I don't really plan on getting any more Pokemon games, but Pokemon spin-offs are great, and this is no exception. Next up, we have a Wii port called Donkey Kong Country 3D Returns. But no knows is what I really want to say about World 4. World 4 is really what makes this game really difficult. But once you pass World 4, you're good to go. So I do have memories more on the Wii version because it was the last game I got in high school before I started buying my own stuff. So I would prefer the 3D version only because it has more content. A lot of people will complain about the Wii controls, motion controls, but I don't really have a problem with that. If anything, the only disadvantage with this game is the screen crunching, but hey, it's a Nintendo 3DS game. Fantastic. Probably the most difficult Donkey Kong Country game of the entire series. To at least 100% anyway. Fire Emblem Awakening. Oh, right. The game that saves the entire series. I actually don't like this game as much. My sister loves this. I will admit, it has good music, but that's really the only positives I can say about this one. Maps are trash. I hate Chrom. Lucina is really cool. But this is like, if you don't want to play Three Houses for whatever reason, because that game is actually selling big bangs on Nintendo Switch, this is a great starter game, but that's it. That's really all this game essentially is. It's just a starter game, and if you're into stories, I guess this game would be fulfilling, but for myself, I don't play JRPGs for story or any video game. Music and gameplay have to be there. Unfortunately, this game did not fulfill my criterias. I actually had to push myself to finish this game. Ever since then, I vowed, just drop the game if you're not enjoying it. That's really all I have to say. The only reason why I kept this is for my younger sister. That's pretty much it. Here's a great Fire Emblem game. So we got Shadows of Valentia. Most people just call it Echoes. This is a remake of Fire Emblem Gaiden, which was released way back in the old day. But let me tell you this, ladies and gentlemen, this, in my personal opinion, is the best Fire Emblem game on the Nintendo 3DS. Presentation is amazing. Voice acting is phenomenal. Music is amazing. Not only that, even though the maps are not the best on Celica, you do play as two characters, Alm and Celica, and they do have their own segwated pathways. So you can like play one session with and then switch to Celica after the battle. But they do have their own paths they follow in the story. This has the shortest amount of chapters, but in this game they call it acts, which makes sense because you're going to be doing a lot of grinding in this game. And let's talk about the free roaming in dungeons. That was the best change they could have ever made in a Fire Emblem game. I know it's probably only going to be exclusive for this entry, and this is the most different of the entire series that I know so far. But damn well, it's well worth it. One thing I will definitely say though is it's not a starter game. So if you want to get into Fire Emblem game, I would highly recommend starting with Awakening, Path to Radiance, or Three Houses. Those are the main three I would recommend starting out with that I know. And then jump into this one. This game, that's why I love it. And then we have Fire Emblem Fates. The two games, or rather 3 games, a lot of Fire Emblem fans hate. Personally, I don't really care for either of these. Birthright's the easy mode. Conquest is the hard mode. I rage quit on Conquest because I'm a casual newbie. But I will definitely say this though. These 2 games are a lot more enjoyable than Fire Emblem Awakening, in my personal opinion. I don't know if you can really consider these games as starter games. Maybe Birthright. But all I'm really going to say, though, is these games are very identical in the very beginning. It doesn't become more separated or segmented until maybe chapter 6. That's when these 2 games become very different. So, my opinion on these games, they're alright. I probably wouldn't really play them again as much, though. I got to show off the cartridge artwork between the Fates games. Very, very cool. Light, darkness. Hey, did you guys know Pikmin 4 is already out for the Nintendo 3DS? Alright, jokes aside. The Pikmin game that nobody likes, it's a 2D side-scroller puzzle. Very linear, not really much RTS. Personally, I feel like the player has to play this with an open mind. If they don't play this with an open mind, well, they're going to be pretty disappointed. For myself, I thought it was okay. I probably want to play this game again, though. So, hey Pikmin, if you're looking for a good Pikmin game, I would recommend the main console ones for 2 of them for the GCN or Pikmin 3 for the Wii U and Switch. So I would recommend getting into those first. And then jump into this if you do like it. I think it's okay. Kid Icarus Uprising. What do I need to say about this game that has never been said before? Other than the fact that if you really want the most pristine controls, you would either have to play this on the new 3DS, new 2DS XL, or get an old 3DS with a Circle Pad Pro because the controls are very awkward in this game. But other than that though, it's fantastic. It's separated between aerial shoot 'em up and then ground melee shoot 'em up. So very, very different from how it was from its previous 2 predecessors on the Game Boy and the NES. Other than that though, joke is really great, music is awesome, writing is phenomenon. Pit is a simp, excuse me, for Politania. What's not to love about Kid Icarus Uprising? That's not been said. Kirby Battle Royale. This is pretty much all I can say is a Battle Royale minigame compilation with a very basic story mode that will only last you about 3 to 5 hours long. It's alright. I feel like once I finished it, I'm probably not going to play this game again. It's more catered towards to multiplayer, but I pretty much moved on from multiplayer. I don't find enjoyment in multiplayer games anymore. So this is actually going to be downsized, and I will be downsizing my Nintendo 3DS collection. Not that by much, but just the games I don't really play anymore. And this is going to be one of them, unfortunately. But this game will fulfill Kirby fans for something a bit different. Just like any other Kirby entry, in my personal opinion. And we got Planet Robobot, the most unique Kirby game of the entire 3DS library, from what I've played. Honestly, who doesn't like seeing Kirby in a robot suit? destroying things, using ESP to be already broken. But I will admit though, this has one of the toughest battle arenas of the entire series. No doubt about it. True Arena always kicks my butt in Kirby games. This is no exception. Would I recommend this to a beginner? Honestly, any beginner could start out with any Kirby game. But this, I feel very indifferent for recommendation for beginner, but Kirby is like a very easy series to do, to finish, but to 100% complete, that's a different story. So pick your poison. No pun intended, because it has poison on the back. Haha, see what I did there? Then we have Triple Deluxe. What do I need to say about this game? I don't remember jack about this game, other than it has very, very weird mini games. And you can make all the blow job jokes you want with Kirby. I mean, he sucks, he blows. But what I will definitely say though is it's way more of a starter entry than Robobot was. Because this game is so very traditional Kirby that it's much more easier in my personal opinion. 100% completion though is a bit harder because you have to collect keychains. And then the True Arena in this game is also hard too, but not as bad as Planet Robobot. And this game is actually dirt cheap, unlike Planet Robobot. So, great game for starters. All right, we got Kirby's Extra Epic Yarn. This is a Wii port, but they added a couple new challenges, new mini games. The new mode that they added was the Devil mode, where if you think about it, it's just a enemy that stalks you like the Angry Sun from Super Mario Bros. 3. That's the best way I can put it. Kirby's Extra Epic Yarn is piss easy. Like, if you thought the original one was really easy, this is no exception. Actually, as a matter of fact, I think they made this game way more easier than the Wii port. But I do prefer this version because you don't need to mess with the motion controls as much. The motion controls in this one, I feel like from the Wii version, it was way more critical compared to Donkey Kong Country Returns. But other than that though, Epic Yarn is a really epic game. No pun intended. Zelda Link Between Worlds. A love letter for those who love A Link to the Past. But if you've never played the SNES Classic, this game is very, very beginner friendly. And probably one of the most non-linear Zelda games I could think of, actually. I really enjoyed this game. I actually 100%ed this game, fully completed. One thing I will definitely say, though, is when the player actually does the whole rental system thing, because that's what this game is mostly centered around, you could play any palace in any order you want. I think the only exception to that is the very beginning of the game. But take that with a can of sugar. I have not played this game in 3 years. I played the Ice Palace last because, well, Ice is the best. Water is second, the best. But other than that, though, it's a very great starting point for those who have never played Zelda game before, but want something a little bit different. So, great game, fantastic. Shiny cover. Go and look at this game. Speaking of Zelda games, this is Majora's Mask 3D. This game is not beginner friendly at all, but I will definitely say this right now. They dumbed down this game so much. For those who thought the N64 version was difficult, you're not wrong about that. Because I played that version way more than the 3D one. The 3D version, what they did was they made a really great changes in the first half of the game. But then somehow they made the second half of the game much, much worse. Everyone complains about the Zora swimming. I can agree with that. The last two bosses, yes, I agree with that as well. We're talking about the last two dungeon bosses. Majora itself is fine. But I do like what they did though. All honesty though, I still can't recommend this game as a starter game for a Zelda entry due to the fact that it has a time pressure system. That's one of the main reasons. And not only that, even with the new 3DS changes, the bosses are they made them stupid somehow. And I don't want to spoil that. If you guys want to check out the details, I highly recommend checking out the Majora's Mask Let's Play I've done on stream. I'll provide some picture to show it off, but I've discussed all the differences between those two versions. Well, or not though, I do like this version, but N64 will always be superior. Now the same thing cannot be said for Ocarina of Time though. This is the superior version on the 3DS. Despite what people will say and complain about this game, I believe that this version is the version that people should start out and play. Link Between Worlds is a great starting point for like 2D Zelda games. This is a great starting point for 3D Zelda games. Now, the main differences what they added with this one was Master Quest when you finish the game. I mean, it says it even on the back too. Inverted map on the Master Quest. I don't remember if they changed the glitches in this one. I'm currently playing through Master Quest right now. And let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, the Fire Temple in the original game is really stupid. But Master Quest, they made it worse somehow. Like, what? Everyone complains about the Water Temple, but people never pay attention to the cutscenes. I don't know. So other than that, though, fantastic game. Very cheap these days. Highly, highly recommend it. And then we're coming to the last game of this entire video. Triforce Heroes. If you're into multiplayer games, this is a fantastic entry. But if you're not into multiplayers like I am and can't find anyone to play with, this game is torture. That's really all I have to say. And this game will most likely be gone from my collection very soon. So, that's that. So if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. Destroy the subscribe button. And explode the comment section below. Let me know what your favorite Nintendo 3DS game is. Part 2, the 3DS collection will be coming out very shortly after this video is posted. So this has been Frosty R&B. All I gotta say is, stay chilly. Keep gaming. And I'll see you guys in the next one.